Hey, welcome to the channel. It's Saturday and it's about probably about 11:30 or so, and I want to come up and kind of assess the damage to the river. I'm just off of Pattaya Road, a little bit north, and they're out here cleaning up and cutting trees down and doing all kinds of stuff. Looks like the water level was really high up here at one point. But they're going at it, and things will be back to normal pretty quick. It's really a sad time here in Thailand right now after what happened, and I'm not going to go into it very much, other than, you know, it's a real sad situation. And you know, somebody asked me if I could do a comparison between Thailand and the United States as far as things like that are concerned. I really don't feel comfortable doing it. You know, part of the problem is these people get exposure in the media, and in my opinion, when they do stuff like this, the only thing that should be shown is them being tossed into an alligator pit, and put that on the news and see how many times it happens after that. But yeah, it's just horrible, unthinkable and horrible. But anyway, I'm going to stop on that. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see where I'm at. And I think we will walk across Narawat Bridge and get down towards the night market, and walk across the other bridge and come back. And I'm going to tell you a story today about a Swedish guy that I knew, and the situation that he got into. It's kind of an interesting story, and I think y'all enjoy hearing it. Man, they're really going at it. You see the water got all the way up through here. They got sandbags over there at the Church of Christ. But they'll have this all cleaned up in no time, and everything will be back to normal. But I'm going to start walking this way, and I'm probably going to shut the camera off until I get up on the bridge, because all you're going to see here is a lot of mud and people walking around and docking just like me. And I'll get back with you when we get on top of the bridge. What a mess. And now you can see where we're at. We'll go up here and make a right, and go across the bridge and go to the right as well. Wow, look at all this trash in the water. They'll have a heck of a time cleaning that out. Water's still going pretty strong. Let's get walking. The story I'm going to tell you about, I'm going to call this guy Larry. I mean, that's not a Swedish name, but it's about the best I can do for you right now. And back in about, and I'm not sure of the exact dates and the time frames, but I'd say back in the, it was probably back in the early 90s. He was married, living in Sweden, had a kid over there, and she was growing up. Hello. And he had a good job working for the government. Still had about, I guess probably about 15-20 years before he could retire. And he ends up going through a divorce with his wife, and pretty much loses everything he's got. I mean, he loses his house, and he's in pretty bad shape. Well, his friends told him, you know, you need to get out of here for a while, relax and clear your head, and, you know, take some vacation time. And you know, just sort things out, what you're going to do for the rest of your life. And a couple of his friends had been to Pattaya, and they'd had a great time. And you know, they told him to go to Pattaya and go down there and drink some of that good beer and clear your head out and come back and get back on with your life. Somebody's yelling for me. Hey, man.
What's happening, champ?
All right, there's Chai. Yeah,
all right.
good.
We're going to Doi Internal.
Have fun, buddy.
See ya.
Chai from Chai Travels. But anyway, he books his flight. I think he was coming over for about a month, and comes to Pattaya, and he's having a good time. He's gets doing what most guys do when they get to Pattaya, and he's walking down a little soy, and he wanted to buy some clothes to bring back. And you know, one of the things that you do when you, at some point in time, I mean, I did it. I didn't do it for me. I did it for Lek. I bought her one of those silk suits at one of those tailors. And there is the governor's mansion right there. We are going to walk down this way and then head to the right. And I'll get away from this traffic so you can hear me. So he's walking around, and you know those guys that stand out on the sidewalk and want to fix you up with a suit before you go home to your home country, you know, and he gets talking to the guy. So he goes in to get fitted for a suit to take back to Sweden with him. And this lady's coming out and she's measuring them and fitting them and all this stuff. And he looks in the back room where they're making his clothes. And there's 2 or 3 ladies back there, and it's sewing machines, and he sees one and she kind of smiles at him. He smiles back. So he asked the lady that was fitting him, you know, what's her name and all this stuff. Well, it turns out that she was in her late 20s. Her husband had died a few years prior to this, and she had a daughter that was about 4 or 5, 6 years old. I'm not really sure, but the daughter was living with the mother, who lived in another province. So you know, he got introduced to her, and they were able to communicate enough, and they went out on a few dates and stuff, hung out together and formed a relationship. Well, he goes back, he leaves his time, he goes back to Sweden. Did kind of like what I did. He's there for about a month or two, and he ends up coming back, and he gets married to her. He does all the paperwork and all the stuff for her visa, and she ends up coming back to Sweden with him after a period of time. I don't know how long it took her, and this is going back years ago, so I don't know what kind of fiasco he had to do to get her a visa to go to Norway. I didn't really get into that, but anyway, she goes to Norway with him, and her daughter, to the best of my knowledge, is still living with the mother. And you know, she's living there, and I think about 2 years go by, and her mother gets sick, so she has to come back to Thailand. And you know, he's still probably 10 or 12 years away from retiring. So she comes back to Thailand and take care of her mother. And he'd come over once or twice a year. This went on for about 2 years. And he'd come over twice a year. He'd come over during the summertime, and then he'd come over at Christmas. Well, on one of his little trips, he made a baby. So she's going to have a baby. So he comes back over. Meantime, you know, the mother's in good shape and doesn't really need her there. So he comes over here and he buys her a house. And you know, she moves into the house with her daughter and her newborn daughter. And he stays, I think he stayed a month that time, and then he had to go back to Sweden, go back to work. And all the time he's in Sweden, he's sending back money to her. And I think he was sending her something like 50 or 60,000 baht a month to, you know, to pay for the house and live and stuff. And like I said, he'd come twice a year. He'd come during the summer for a month, and then he'd come at Christmas for a month and spend time, and then he'd have to go back. And he was living in a one-room apartment in Sweden, and basically getting up in the morning and going to work and coming home and doing the same thing over again, trying to get as much overtime as he could, you know, for the extra money. And this went on, he did this for about 10 years. And time started getting closer to retirement, and you know, his plans were to retire and come to live in Thailand. And you know, the kid was growing up, and so he retired from his job and moved over here, and they lived real good. And she spent his money wisely. She fixed the house up, took care of the kids, and he adopted her younger daughter. Just a really nice family life for him. He was very, very happy. He doesn't live here now. When the younger daughter started getting up into teenage years, he quickly made the assumption that her life in Thailand, would not be as good as it would be in Sweden. And the education that she would get here would not be up to the standards that, you know, he felt was proper. So they basically shut up their house and packed up and moved back to Sweden. Their house is still, they didn't sell the house, because what their plans are is when the younger daughter gets established and gets an education, gets a job, and can take care of herself, they're going to come back to Thailand. And, I hope that they do. Really nice family. Very good care of him when he was here. You know, we knew them, you know, before he actually retired here, and I can say without a shadow of a doubt there wasn't any monkey business going on. It was all family and business, and trying to build a life so he'd have something when he got here. And he really did not want to move back to Sweden, but for his kids, he thought it would be best for them to do that. So I admire the guy. He made some sacrifices, and hopefully one day he'll be back. As a matter of fact, I'm sure he will. I email him from time to time and kind of keep him posted on what's going on up here, and every once in a while I'll go right by and check on their house and see how things are going. And I think it's been, I'm going to say it's probably been about 4 or 5 years since they left. So the daughter should be pretty much able to take care of herself now. So I suspect he'll be back probably in the next couple of years. And, they thought about renting their house, and here unless you're right here watching things, it tends to go south fast. So they just closed it up, and they have somebody come by and take care of the yard once a month, and whenever they're ready, they'll come back. As a matter of fact, the car's still sitting in the driveway. I don't know what kind of shape that'll be in, but you know, I can deal with it. But so every story does not have a bad ending. Some of them do, quite a few of them do, but not every story has a bad ending. So, you know, if you're getting into a relationship that could go that route, you know, you need to keep an open mind. You're not always going to get ripped off and taken and screwed. Because he sure didn't. I mean, he's got a great family now, and he's very happy. Even his daughter from Sweden has come over, you know, while he was here and visited for the period of time that he lived here, and they all get along fine. A lot of traffic out today, so you know, you can't judge by, you know, a lot of bad stories. There are a lot of bad stories, but there's some good ones too, and that's one of them. Beautiful blue sky today, absolutely gorgeous. Now I think what I want to do is I want to walk across that bridge, and then there's a temple over there, and I want to see if they have a museum inside the temple. And every time I've been through over there, it's been closed. And I want to see if there's any possibility of it being open today. At some point in time, I'll catch it open. But they shut it down before, right around COVID, and every time I go in there, it's always closed up. Everybody here waiting for their baht bus to take them back to where they're going, and everybody's eating. Mango. I love this part of town. It's always fun to walk through. I told this in another video about, I guess it was about 6 months ago. Right, it was right before the flood started. Wait till I get through this crowd. Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Yeah, we'll go up these stairs. But, wow, look at that bamboo there. Big old bamboo pole there. Shoot. Yeah, I think it was probably about 6 months ago. They came out to the bridge, this bridge, and they found a pair of girls' shoes and some personal belongings here on the side of the bridge. And turns out that a young college student had just broken up with her boyfriend, and she was distraught and jumped off the bridge. And they found her about 20 kilometers south of here. Yeah, that water's still going, man. If you fell in that, you'd never get found. Let's go up this side. Somebody else making a video. Hey. I'll catch my breath a little bit. Yeah, he's going to take a picture this way. I was going through some of my pictures that I posted a few years back. I took them right here. And the water was the same color. Alright, well, let's go this way. Hello. It's really a nice day today. It's not real hot now. About 2 hours from now, I'll be glad I'm sitting in my air-conditioned room. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to put up this video, but tonight at 8 o'clock, I know I won't put it up before tonight. It'll probably be tomorrow, which is Sunday. So last night we had, I'm hoping we'll have the coffee lady on tonight, and if y'all want to watch, go back and watch the live stream. And if you come here, definitely stop in and see her and say hello to her and buy some coffee. Really, really a nice lady. And her daughter is just adorable. I mean, I'd take her home with me if I could. Really nice people. We'll walk out here. It looks like the temple's closed, so I don't think I'll be able to get in there. Wow. Hello.
Hello.
The trees they got down here in mud. What a mess. But like I said, they'll have it cleaned up pretty quick. On you. I'll see if I can get in over here. I don't think I can. Looks like they're working on a building. Yeah, they're gonna stop. Thank you. Let's see what's in here. Doubt very seriously, but it's open. But we'll walk in. Really a beautiful temple. Yeah, we'll leave this for another day. I've rattled my mouth enough, and I don't want to bore y'all too much. I'll come back here another day and we'll get this completed. Hello? I think the best way to get back to the car is walking this way. A lot of little shops on this road. It'd be a good road to walk, and I was going to do that if I could have parked on the north side by the bridge. I was going to walk this road. I couldn't get a parking space. There's so many people there, and all the parking spaces were taken, so I had to park on this road further down towards the Narawat Bridge. An art studio there. Yeah, art workshop. All right, well, I don't want to bore y'all with a bunch of street noise, and I'll close the video out now, and we'll see you on the next one. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for stopping in. Bye-bye.